Another garden walkthrough. I wanted to show my basil first because I let it go to seed. It was trying so hard, and the flowers are so pretty. It's supposed to be really great for pollinators, and it's very sweet smelling with the basil smell in there. And in the back, there's still some basil I can use to cook, so I'm happy with that. They're really pretty flowers. I hope I get some bees in the garden. The lavender looks about done. The thyme doesn't look so great, but we've been using a lot of it cooking. The chives I'll pull out at the end of the season, and the rosemary looks really good. So it's looking pretty good. The mint plot, I still have to cut these dead parts off, but it's growing some more mint from the roots. Hi, helper. Hi. The kumquats are getting really big. I'm just waiting for them to turn orange. I'm hoping that the cold front that we're supposed to be getting here in Houston this week will help. Now, by cold front, that pretty much means a high of 80 instead of in the 90s. But we'll take it, and hopefully the garden will like it. I'm really excited to try these kumquats. They're self-pollinating, so you don't have to worry about having two trees, but some varieties you might need a second tree to help pollinate. I purposely got one that you didn't have to do that. But it's looking pretty good. I have to see if maybe I can cut back my gladiolas a little bit. They're looking kind of sad. See if maybe they'll come back that way. The zinnias are looking good. I threw these down. This is my first time doing zinnias, and I threw these seeds down with wildflower mix, and the zinnias were the only ones that really popped up. There's a few other sparse little plants, and I'm just not sure if they're weeds or flowers or whatnot, so I'm kind of just giving them a little bit of time to kind of see what they are. But I'm definitely doing more zinnias next season. They're beautiful. They come in all shapes and sizes and colors. They're also really awesome because you can cut flowers and they'll keep growing more, which is great. So I've cut a small bouquet already, and that's inside, and I've got some more blooms that have opened. The pale pink one in the back is a newer color. I hadn't seen that one before, in this garden anyway. So I'm excited to do more zinnias, and they can be planted, I was reading up on them, they can be planted like 3 inches from each other, 2-3 inches. So you can plant them pretty closely together, and what they do, this one's the best example, is they branch out. So you cut your bloom, they keep branching and branching, and they can get pretty tall. There's also dwarf varieties. Now, I worked the last 4 days, and I was really excited to see my hibiscus bloom, but you see it on the ground there. I missed it with my 4 13-hour days at work. So, what are you going to do? I'll just wait for another one. And then there's some happenings going on in the rest of the vegetable garden. The broccoli is looking great. I'm really pleased with how that looks. I know it's going to really enjoy the cooler temperatures we're about to get. The jalapenos are still producing. There's a bunch on here to pick, and there's still a couple flowers, so it's still making some jalapenos. So I have some jalapeno picking to do this week. Some of them are starting to get their dark streaks, which is supposed to make them hotter, and then if you leave them on, they ripen to a red color as well. The green beans are doing great. You see the mushrooms in the back there. I found those last night when I got home and came and checked on it. The humidity has been still pretty high, so those mushrooms grew. I ripped them out, and these green beans are really growing great, so I'm excited for some green beans. And in the front of the green beans, I planted 2 rows of beets as a fall vegetable. They're a Detroit purple beet. They're pretty dark in color. Beets really like nitrogen, and the green beans are going to return nitrogen to the soil, so those are a really great companion plant. Beets take about 30 days, depending on the variety, but the ones I got are about 30 days seed to harvest. So I planted 2 rows of that, and I'm super excited. They like the cool weather. And my okra is getting nice and tall. I had a bloom here, this guy down here, and I hope it pollinated. I'm not sure if it did. I wasn't here to hand pollinate it to ensure that I got okra out of that, so we'll see what happens. But I definitely have some more blooms that are about to open up on all of these. This one has, I want to say they might be aphids, something growing on it, or crawling on it, or I can't really tell exactly what those are. It might be aphids. You also see little clear dots on it. Those are little sap balls that the okra plant makes. Are also on the underside of all the leaves. That's natural. Those aren't eggs or anything. So I'm probably going to spray this with some neem oil later. I just can't tell if they're bugs. Probably aphids. I haven't seen the dark ones yet. And my dill's doing good. My Brussels sprouts are doing okay. They're managing. If you see, there's a little bit of sprouting between the Brussels sprouts, and that's actually a row of radishes. So radishes, same as beets, only take about 30 days. They like the cool weather. They're a great fall crop. These are a Chinese red meat radish. They're also called the watermelon radish, and they have a green outside and a red meat center. So they look like a watermelon. I'm excited for those. Once they get tall, I will thin them out so they won't be too cramped to make a nice bulb. So yeah, radishes this month. Peppers are doing good. I actually have some red bell peppers in the back that have started to grow, and I have some pepper picking to do. I don't imagine that they'll get super big, and you can pick peppers anytime. They don't need a certain amount of time to ripen to be able to eat them. They just really more ripen for it to a particular color. And pimento peppers. My cucumber plant, on the other hand, is looking worse for wear now. So I'm going to be ripping this out probably later today, and just be done with it. It does have a couple pollinated cucumbers on it, but they're not going to get very big. It's just, it's too sick to really make good crop, and I don't have enough time. These take about 80 days from seed to harvest, to start harvest, and I just don't have enough time. Our first frost date is like December 2nd, and today it's October 7th, so I don't have 80 days, which is fine. If you'll notice in front, there's a little sprout coming up. That's actually Chinese cabbage. So I planted some Chinese cabbage in the front row and some baby spinach seeds on the side of this. All the more reason to get this cleared out a bit, so that those can germinate and have more room. And then I have a little extra room for any other fall crops, or I can also do another round of radishes or beets in a couple weeks, and that way I'm kind of spreading out my harvests by a couple weeks. My jalapeno plant has another jalapeno. The other one's obviously, it's older, but it's doing a lot more production. My tomato plant's looking okay, but no tomatoes yet. And my snacking pepper has flowers, so I'm waiting to see if that'll fruit anymore, especially now that it's cooler. This bed also has some sproutlings in the front and back, and these are more radishes. The front row is a German red radish, like you find in the grocery store, with the red outside and white in the middle, and then the back row are a purple plum radish, and those are going to be dark purple on the outside and white in the middle. Very beautiful. So I have another couple radishes rows mixed in here, and I'm excited for those. Again, I'll I'll let them get a little taller and thin them out so that they're a few inches apart and they can get nice and big. They definitely like the cooler weather. My cucamelons are over halfway up the trellis. I'm excited for these. Hey, little guy, you come up here. No, come up here. I know it's windy, but you want to be up here. I promise. So these are grown up. I cannot wait till these fruit. That should be towards the end of this month. So they're happy if they have sunlight. So they're right here on the last garden bed. And the kale's looking pretty good too. Not too shabby on the kale. So, and of course my marigolds. I did plant marigolds kind of at the end of each vegetable bed. The one on this end died probably because of fire ants, because they made a nest in there at one point. This one looks a little shabby. That one died. These ones are trying to hang on over this end, and the one that was on the far end also died. It got smothered out by my zucchini from earlier in the season. That's my garden. That's our walkthrough. That's where we're at. So some changes happening, some changes coming, and we'll keep on keeping on. Thanks for coming.